One of my loyal subscribers, Chris Knievel, has been waiting patiently for some action on the Minibike. So let's finally get started on it. Thanks for your patience, Chris. I don't know who made this thing or when it was made, but it really looks like the type of old school Minibike I had when I was a kid. That one was made in the late 60s, and I know this one is not that old, but I don't know how new it is. Doesn't matter, really. The main thing is that it is of the old school design. So, to me, this design of Minibike needs a flathead engine. And as you guys have seen before, I believe, I've got a 3.5 horse Briggs that is just about right to go on it. A 5 horse would be better, but I got this one cheap and it runs good, so we're going to put it on it. So let's see about getting this thing off of the edger that it's on now. That seems to be a common application for these little flathead 3.5 horse jobs. Okay, it has 4 bolts holding it from the bottom, and they're actually threaded into the mounting tabs. I don't think there are nuts. So looks like 3¼ inches that way, and 6¼ that way. Measure the holes on the Minibike. Yeah, looks like it's going to work. Of course, if it didn't, I would make it work. You know, just a matter of drilling some more holes, but looks like I won't have to do that. These are actually American size bolts. Thought they might be metric, but they're not. It's a 1/2 inch head, so I think that means it's probably a 5/16 as far as the actual bolt diameter. Probably 5/16 18 national cores. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I don't know, that might be a 3/8. Doesn't matter, we'll use the same bolts for installing it on the bike frame. So whatever it is will work. Tell you what, let's take this bolt out. There were 2 of them, and one is broken off. And that's a 5/16. These are 3/8. It's 5/16 by 24 fine thread. Okay, there goes the belt. So hopefully I'll be able to lift that thing right out of there. So get these bolts out. There we go. Okay. Now the rest of this is spare parts for whatever. I might be able to make a knife out of that, or two. That's probably 1055 steel or something like that. These are some good usable parts. There goes the dumb cat again. She's been wanting in the house all day. Okay, without further ado, we'll just go ahead and, well, I don't know. I need to take that fender off first because I don't plan to leave it on there. It looks like a 7/16. Let's pause it while I take that fender off. Man, that fender was insane. It's hard to believe they would even have something like that. It detracts from the looks of the bike anyway. Makes it look less old school. Look at that, that's an 1/8 inch thick. Why would they even have something that heavy? I might cut a section of it like this, about right there, and use it as a scrubber brake pad. I don't know. This seems to be a fairly universal frame. So it's got tabs on both sides, and it's got a bicycle brake lever, and it's going to the back. So that obviously was a rear brake at some point. It's got nothing in the way of brakes on it now. But I'll fix that. But I was thinking I might make a scrubber brake. I don't know, I'm not sure. Oh, these tabs, I don't know. I might end up having to cut those off. I thought about using them as a, well, I mean, you know, for now I'll probably go ahead and do the scrubber brake thing, just so I don't have to spend money on brakes, although I am going to have to spend money on a sprocket, because this one is completely worn out. Plus it's looks like a number 35 chain, and I want to go bigger than that. So, assuming of course that my clutch fits this engine in and is larger than that, and I think it is. I think it's probably a number 41. But anyway, enough of that. Let's stick the engine on it. yeah. Yeah, that's going to be pretty much of a perfect fit. As I was saying though, I was looking at those tabs and I was thinking for a minute, I kind of thought that it might be good for a good spot to put a Jackshaft, and because all along I was kind of thinking about moving the rear wheel rearwards. Weld some new tabs on here. I don't know if you can see where the wheels are, but weld some new tabs onto the very ends here, which will give me an additional probably 5 inches of wheelbase, and I'm probably going to need that because this is a pretty small bike, and if I just move the seat back, it's going to make it a wheelie machine, which I really don't want. So I'll probably move the axle back, and I thought about maybe running a Jackshaft once I do, and those tabs are not badly placed for that. I was kind of thinking it might be, just looking at it, but once the engine is in place, I can see that it would probably work. Tell you what, I'm going to have to make those slots bigger. Tell you what else I'm going to have to do too. I don't think I'm going to be able to use those slots at all. I don't think it'll line up properly. I don't know. Tell you what, let's take that pulley off. If I can get it off without a big ordeal. Yeah, 9/16. Okay, I can hold that with vice grips. We'll go get some. Okay, I got that bolt broken loose. I've had these vice grips for, I don't know, probably 30 years. Here it comes. I definitely need to hang on to that. Quarter-inch key. Now to try the clutch. Okay. Good old Comet centrifugal clutch. Comet Industries, Richmond, Indiana. None of this Chinese junk. That's the key piece right there. I was fully prepared for it to not work, because this is a 3/4 inch bore, and I was not going to be surprised to find a 5/8 PTO shaft on this engine. But that's not the case. Works perfectly. It's got a set screw, so I'll have to tighten the set screw, but I'm not going to do it right now. Right now we're going to set it back in the frame and see how it lines up. I'm also not going to drill the holes for it right now. That will come in the next installment. Actually, I'll probably go ahead and drill the holes and have it mounted in the next installment, because I need to. I believe that is a number 41 chain sprocket on the torque converter. I mean on the clutch. So that's just right. That's what I was hoping for. So I'm going to have to order a new sprocket for the rear and a new chain. So hopefully on the next installment we'll actually be riding it. Possibly sans brakes. I don't know. But at least we'll try to make it move under its own power. Yeah, there we go. Tell you what, I don't know what the deal is with this frame, but it was certainly not designed for one of these engines. I don't know, maybe I should use a jack shaft. See, if I use a jack shaft, then I can center the engine in the frame like that. That'll make it a whole lot better. Or like that. Yeah. Of course, I'll definitely have to put a chain guard on that, because you know, it'll be sticking out past the frame. It'll be real easy to catch a cuff. So if I do use a jack shaft, I'll have to cover up that primary very well. I don't know though. I probably won't. For now, I'll probably just, I mean, I won't have much of a place to put my feet over here, but I'll probably just line it up and run it like that. Maybe even pull it back. I don't know. So what do you guys think? Jack shaft or no? I know some of you guys are more of an expert on building mini bikes than I am, by far. I'm thinking jack shaft, but I don't know. I'm undecided, you know. I mean, the engine will mount in the frame a lot nicer if I use a jack shaft, but then the primary chain will be outside the frame, so I'll have to use a jack shaft if I do that. I could run it direct, but then the recoil starter will be almost even with the end of the foot peg. Well, maybe an inch inward from it. But that would be the easy way to do it, although it would actually interfere with the main frame tube a little bit, but that's not a big deal. We can get around that problem. It's definitely going to, if I use a jack shaft, it's going to double the expenditure at least that it'll take to get this thing going. But I think it'll be all around better though with the jack shaft, especially as hilly as it is around here. I think I'm going to need to build it pretty low geared. Although the road's not hilly, the road is flat. But I think I would rather ride it around up on the hill on my trail than to ride up and down the road. So, one thing, I'm gonna peel the Yard Machines sticker off. Maybe just cut it, score it right there and peel it off. No, I'll peel the whole thing off. Find some other sticker to go there, or none. There we go. Yeah, none. Because I don't want my Minibike to say Yard Machines. If it says Briggs and Stratton, that's fine. I don't want it to say Razor either, so I don't know. It doesn't matter. That obviously was not the original seat. That came off something else. I don't know what I'll do for a seat. My original Minibike had a big blocky seat on it, and that'll be the thing to have on this too, probably. Actually, it was hinged at the front, and it had twin shocks, coil-over shocks, pretty much directly over the axle. And whether I move the axle back or not, that would be the way to go with this too, because it'll give me more space, more room to move around, and a little bit of suspension action. So anyway, let me know what you think, jack shaft or no.